Ginger said she would like something that was something she could give somebody that would explain to them a simple nutritional action plan that they could do. So I was thinking about it, I said, a ginger snap, that'll work, not a cookie. It's just a simple way to be able to make something happen significant for people that you want to take care of. So most people, when you talk about this, think it's all in the hair. And it's all in the skin, it's what you look like. And that's great because, I mean, looking good, right? But the trouble is, the truth is, most of the time it's a little bit beyond that. And it's beyond the hair, and it's a little bit deeper. So if you want to look good and you want to feel good, you have to remember there's something else to that. Looking good and feeling good is not just trading places. It's about learning what goes on and what makes you feel good. And it's actually your head, between your ears. If your nervous system tells you you feel good, you feel good. If your nervous system tells you you don't feel good, you don't feel good. And people go, explain that to me a little bit. Well, times have changed. We know a lot more than we used to about how our brains work. We now realize physiologically everything happens between your ears. What you like, what you don't like, how you feel, all this nervous system. And the reason that's important, if you look at this and you realize times have changed. We're seeing things we've never seen before, ever. We know now it is our gut, it is our brain. They're connected bidirectionally. We know that if you feel upset stomach, you get sick and you throw up. You know that if you get hit against your head hard enough, you've heard of people throwing up. They're connected bidirectionally. In physiology, we've learned a whole lot. So without getting too crazy about it, our brain likes to be chilled. It likes everything working good, blood circulation, keep the temperature right, there might be an overheated, and it does that overheating basically through calcium going into cells. I'm going to skip all the rest of it because you don't need to know it. Just understand that when that happens, you had excess calcium going in. Now, this thing right here called an N-methylate aspartate receptor, you don't need to know about it except for one thing. If they make antibodies to it, you're going to have problems. And if it happens to your brain, you're going to be like that girl they talked about in the movie, Brain on Fire. The thing is, we have this happen lower levels. And most of the times, it's not that antibody, it's something prior to that that causes that to crank up. But it makes you feel bad. Because we call all that central stuff different names. We say it's this, that, or the other thing, but realistically, it's all processed to the same place, our brain. And what's important about that is it can happen due to things being hot, it can happen due to pesticides, air pollution, and metals. And you think, okay, well, what can we do about that to make this not a problem? Well, the thing's connected. So when we look at it, and we go up here and we say, chronic inflammation is part of it. And we go, you're infected, you're not active, you're obese, your stomach's giving you trouble, diet. Isolation, you know that nobody did real well during times of isolation, COVID. People don't like to be alone. It's stressful. It disturbs your sleep. Foreign chemicals, all that works into, and that's what causes now, we're really leading to find out. So muscles going away, sarcopenia, bones going away, osteoporosis, those are all inflammation driven now, we know. It's kind of amazing. So when you look at this, the hair that even lines all the arteries that we have, that stuff gets mowed down by stressful chemicals. Or the calcium disturbances changes the electrical field, so if things don't work right, your blood pressure goes up. And all this ties back into, what do we know now about viruses we've heard about we didn't know? You've heard about these cytokine storms, right? Well, most of us didn't know that you could have viruses take residence up in your nose, you get in something called the olfactory bulb, and you lose your sense of smell. How many people with COVID, you heard about that happening? Or people say even to this day, I'm tired, I have chronic fatigue. The virus has taken residency up in the motor cortex and it changed the shape. It needs to be reprogrammed. Substantia nigra, that's the place right here that we now know is Parkinson's. People actually have developed Parkinson's symptoms, and some have developed Parkinson's disease because of it. And the last one is, remember I told everybody, learn how to do the prowl exercises, that video, because the vagal nerve is affected also. That's people who are having vagal problems, postural problems. You get orthostatic hypertension, you gotta go fall over, that kind of junk. And all this goes back to this thing called an ACE inhibitor. And that's angiotensin conversion enzyme, but that's a heart thing. People have heard about medicine. You take an ACE inhibitor, beta blockers. That same thing works in your brain too. So when somebody shows up at you and goes, I'm aggravated and I want some coffee, know that it's not a bad thing. Coffee is actually good for you. It actually helps with all of these things, simply taking coffee. Drink a couple of cups, it's not the worst thing in the world you ever did for yourself. Don't put a bunch of junk in it though, okay? The mitochondria are what runs everything, and there are trillions of these things in your brain. That's what's being affected by these viruses, by these chemicals. It all affects the mitochondria. And Ginger asked a question, can you give me a simple answer for something I can use nutritionally that will help out? And I said, absolutely. So I got you a ginger snap. Simple nutritional action plan that you can do every day, and it's only got 3 parts to it. All you have to do, sunshine, vitamin D3. You can make it by getting out in the sun. Well, I can't get out in the sun because the doctor said I'm taking this medication. You need to get D3 in your system. You need to take it every day. Why? Because ideally, you want your number to be checked in a lab, and you're about 50 at a minimum. Ideally, I like to get people 65 to 85. Normal is all the way from 30 to 100. But understand at this level, all those things you see with little arrows, the arrows going up are good things, the arrows going down are bad things, and vitamin D fixes every one of those. I included that not because you need to know all of it, but understand vitamin D is foundationally big. And it even works on that same receptor I was talking about that works in your brain and your heart. And it's important because it'll work on your liver, your kidneys, and everything else you have. That's why vitamin D is important. Pectin is the next thing. Everybody's got some cuties. Gave you all those. That's about how many you need to eat a day to get basic minimum pectin levels. Pectin does all sorts of magic. And I'll tell you how to get information on that if you want to know later. But apples, same thing. You can also take supplements because you're going to find out some people won't eat fruits and vegetables. And if they don't, you can get them to take a pectin supplement and get the magic. Because this weird little shaped molecule called pectin has got 16 binding spikes on it. And what do you use that for? All kind of bad cooties inside of you, chemicals that are going through your intestines, with me skipping all the big names. But the science behind it says, make sure you don't miss this every day. Pectin. Because these little cootie grabbing things up there help block all these guys up here so you don't get that stuff going into your intestines, out into your bloodstream. And then out in your bloodstream, the next thing it does is go through your blood-brain barrier, and this is where it gets to affecting your nervous system. Very simply. Pectin. Got lots of stuff out there published. It's real good stuff to know. This is also the third thing. Your mantra needs to be my tea. Okay, my tea is basically a Hindu word that means self-love or self-caring. Third thing you need to do is take care of yourself and keep a positive attitude. That little QR code is the one that's listed. If you go, that is the video that I made, Hope Floats video. Why it's important is because it gives you a lot of the reasons to know how to make things work for yourself. Because the science behind hope is phenomenal. Even if you're not religious, the science proves it. And I've got this one here for you specifically if you want to go find out more information about what pectin does. Take that, it'll give you a link to that section there. Send me an email, say, hey, I really want to know something about how this stuff works. And I'll send you an email that'll give you at least 13, 14 different selection possibilities for getting pectin, and also the papers that explain why pectin is flipping important. I've already highlighted them for you, just look at the highlight spots. So, if you got any questions, let me know.
Great.